G'day, my name is David and I love my gardening. Today I'm very excited to do a unboxing, first impressions of something I've been trying to get my hands on for a couple of years now. The particular thing I've been trying to get my hands on is a garden bed edge redefiner from Stihl. This has been out for a few years in the US. Part number R FBD-KM. As at today's date, the 13th of February 2022, this isn't even listed at the moment. It's not on the Stihl website in Australia, but it's been out, like I said, in the US for a few years. I ordered this in especially via Hoogie's out at Yarra Glen. Thank you, Robbo, for hooking us up with this yesterday. This is not a sponsored link. This is my own research. I've got a lot of garden beds, rose garden beds around the property, and we'll have a play with this a bit later on. But I needed something to re-edge some very neglected garden beds. This has got a special blade that will redefine or cut down a straight edge and then angle back out to the garden bed supposedly. As you can see, this is a two-piece part. This is actually the Stihl Kombi setup. The power head I've got here, I've got the largest one that's available from Stihl, which is the KM 131R. So this is the most powerful, I think it's a 1.4 kilowatt output. So because I'm going to be using this to churn up very compressed hard dirt to redefine my garden beds, I went with the largest power head I could get. So this is a combi setup. It's meant to have different attachments can be slotted into the end here, and I'm going to give this a crack. I've tried all sorts of implements, but because of the sheer number of garden edges here, doing it by hand is just ridiculous. I need something a little bit more specialized. There are units that you can get that are like lawn mowers, but the prices of those are in the $7,000 to $10,000 mark. This setup, I think this was, the power head was just over $700 and a couple $100 for the bed edge redefiner. So just over $900 for the setup. And I can put different attachments, edges and brush cutters, hedging implements on the end of this, so I can swap them in. But I primarily wanted this for this bed edge redefiner. So comes with a harness. In the pack was some safety glasses, some different spanners and instructions. And this simply slots straight into this. You do up a little butterfly screw here and away we go. So let's take it down the back and see how it performs. Okay, first impressions of the Kombi garden bed edge redefiner. Very interesting. It's Melbourne here, it's summer, everything is bone dry. Extremely dusty doing it, but this ground is as hard as a rock. You hit it with a shovel, the shovel just bounces off of it. And that bed edge redefiner just chewed it up. Didn't even feel it going through it. It ate it. Very dusty. Got my protective goggles on. Definitely would recommend, if you're doing it dry like I just did, that you have some kind of handkerchief or something to stop the dust getting into you. But overall, that was crazy fun. I just did that, a whole rose garden bed, one side and down, and oh gosh, about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. That would have been a half day, all day event, and it just wouldn't have been fun doing it with a shovel. Come back down this other side. So I am still learning how to use this, but yeah, it just chewed through that ground, hard dry soil, no worries. Kicks everything off back into the garden, and gives a nice edge. I would like it to go a bit deeper. I'd like this to have gone an extra inch deeper myself, because I'm going to come back and mulch this, but I reckon I could go through there with a second pass. The other thing I would recommend is you mow the lawn up to the edge before you come along, because there's a guide wheel on the front of the edge bed redefiner, and if the grass is high, the whole head goes up and you don't get as deep a cut. So that's the first tip I'd recommend, is you definitely give the lawn a nice close clip. For most of this it didn't matter, but I noticed when I got up here there was some taller grass here, and that messed with my edge. So dust mask, something when you're doing it dry like this, and mow the grass before you go through. That met my expectations. I'd give it a 8 or a 9 out of 10. Like I said, would like it to be a little bit deeper, but I give this a mow and maybe a second pass. I think I'll get my desired depth, but certainly better than before, and certainly using a shovel to try and do this, just not an option. This ground is just hard as, no moisture, and that you definitely get the bigger head, the bigger power head. That's the biggest one, the 131. It just, you didn't even feel any resistance. So thanks Robbo at Hoogie's Yarra Glen for hooking us up. This is going to get a heck of a lot of use. If you've got any other questions, thoughts, comments, please share. Cheers.